Hello and welcome. This is Ghost Dimension Flying Solo.
Coming up on Ghost Dimension.
That was one of these doors already.
Oh, just heard a thud above me.
Look at that!
There we go.
Was that you? This is going mental.
Ghost Dimension.
This is the oldest original pub in England, Ye Olde Boars Head in Middleton, Manchester. Tree ring dating confirms that this building dates back to 1622, when it first operated as an alehouse, which makes this the oldest public house in England. Built from wooden timbers and old wattle and daub, this is one of the finest examples of this style of building in the country. It is believed that the infamous highwayman Dick Turpin stayed here on many occasions, looking for people to rob as he roamed the English countryside on his faithful horse, Black Bess. This building has had many uses during its time, and in its very room it was once used as a courthouse, sentencing people to their death. There's also holding cells in this very building and what's believed to be a dungeon. Reports say that some of the prisoners were treated very badly, and some of them actually died before they received the judgment that awaited them. There are many different reports of paranormal activity here, with people witnessing shadows, hearing footsteps, and objects moving before their very eyes. There has also been the foul stench of rotten body odour smelt on occasion. Let's hear from our psychic medium in Oklahoma, Para, to hear what she senses could be haunting Ye Olde Boars Head.
Hey, it's Para, and Sean sent me more photographs from the Ye Olde Boars Head in Milton, which is apparently a 2-minute walk away from the Ring of Bells. The first thing I picked up is a portal there. Now, there are 3 different types of portals. There's an output portal, a portal that swings both ways, and then there's this receiving portal. Now, a receiving portal is for spirits to leave our plane and go to a better plane or a different plane. Usually crossing over kind of thing. Now, usually mediums open those portals, or somebody with high spiritual powers open those portals. That portal hasn't been open for very long. I'm gonna say like 3 weeks. What happened is there were thousands of spirits that flooded that location last night. Or they've been there for a while, but I did the reading last night. Thousands of spirits have flooded into that location from what I believe to be an unmarked mass grave or a cemetery. I'm leaning towards the unmarked grave because none of them could tell me their name. They all seemed confused of where they were at. They're all lost. And most of the time, spirits from cemeteries know that they're dead, or they know that they're buried in their graves. They have tombstones. They all seem to be from the same time period. They're children, there was men, there was women. They all kind of bombarded me, asking me for help, and I couldn't help them. They kind of overwhelmed me so much that when I actually tried to go to sleep after doing this reading, that they were infecting my dreams, and I could still see them. I think I may have closed the receiving portal by accident, because I feel physically drained. I've closed many portals before, but never a receiving portal, and I feel like my energy has been drained from me, and that's usually how I feel after I close portals. Now, the spirits that flooded this location couldn't use that receiving portal in order for them to move on. I do believe that maybe certain rules or parameters may have been set for this portal, or maybe this portal was meant for one spirit alone because they cannot use it. They're stuck. I do not know if the spirits are going to remain in this location or if they'll go back, but they were drawn to this portal like a beacon. It was like a big, giant beacon. When I tried to do a reading this morning and reconnect with this location, I did not feel any spiritual activity. Now, they may come back. They may come back and visit this place at night, because that's when the portal was opened, at nighttime. But as of right now, I'm not feeling any spiritual activity. They could be hiding as well, but I'm not picking up anything. They may have gone back to their grave or graves or whatever. Other than that, that's all I could find from this location was the portal that was opened and all of the spirits that flooded it. Hopefully everything's okay. That's all I found from the Old Boar's Head in Middleton.
This location appears to be a hive of activity, and do you know what? I can't wait to get started. So join me as I enter the Ghost Dimension. Paul, the Old Boar's Head.
Yes.
Amazing location. For me, we've walked here, we've come here. In fact, it's only around the corner from the Ring of Bells, which we did a few weeks back.
Yeah.
This place is in a haunted area, and when I've come inside of this building, instantaneously, I can feel its presence pushing against you.
Right.
You can tell it's got an atmosphere about it.
There's definitely something. I mean, again, it's one of it's the oldest original pub in England, not far from the Ring of Bells, very close to a park, which is where they used to execute people, used to hang them.
Yeah.
So from here, where they held court
Yeah.
and were detained in the cells, some people didn't make it off to anywhere else. They were taken over there and then strung up until they were dead. So a lot of trauma that could have potentially happened in this building.
And this place has got a lot of things about it. It's got, like you say, the history.
Yeah.
It's had a courthouse here.
Yeah.
It's got a dungeon.
It's a nice twist, isn't it?
And parts of the bar, which is now a bar, was actually cells.
Yeah, I mean, there's still evidence of that because the bars are there. The area which they think was a dungeon kind of is in keeping with the fact that they had the court there. So if the cells were overflowing, put them down in the dungeon.
Should we go down to the dungeon now?
I think we should have a look at it, yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Paul,
Yes.
the dungeon. Come down here, again, it's weird. It's a lot quieter.
Yeah.
And it feels damp. It feels heavy.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's got this odd feel about it.
Yeah. The heaviness sometimes I think can be a bit psychological.
Yeah.
You go underground, you start feeling a little bit claustrophobic, so not necessarily something that you could say is paranormal,
No,
but
who knows?
who knows, But I mean, yes, this is what they say was a dungeon. We don't know for certain,
No.
but looking at the back wall and the way the brickwork is configured, certainly looks like it's with the right time period. Then you've got the iron girders here, which have obviously supported the new
Been
floor.
brought into support, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it certainly could possibly have been a dungeon.
It could have, Paul, and in the back wall there's also holes which lead into another part of this basement which has been bricked up, and the owners believe they are tunnels
Yeah,
or an extension of this dungeon.
yeah.
And maybe people were held here.
Yeah, well, quite possibly. I mean, the cells we know upstairs, once you get to capacity, we've got to go somewhere else.
Gotta go
We don't know
somewhere.
how many people would have been held.
You could put the nasty people, this is what people did, they put the nasty people
Yeah,
away, locked them away in the cellars, in the dungeons.
yeah.
Potentially, people may have lost their lives down here, Paul.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. That's definitely a possibility. And the thing with just going back to the tunnels as well, Back in the olden days, a lot of pubs used to have tunnels which would lead to churches, because what they used to do was put bodies in cold storage, waiting for them to be interred. So, there could have been a tunnel that connected to a church for that purpose.
And there's a church locally here,
Yes.
so we don't know, maybe, Paul,
No.
the tunnels lead to the church.
Yeah. And with the fact that this goes back so far, there's not accurate records.
We just don't know.
We don't, and not, you'd have building plans, but not necessarily secret tunnels, because it wouldn't be secret if it was on a plan.
Well, I can't wait to come down into here and investigate and see if anything that happens down here that the staff have reported that they've felt feelings of negative presences. Some of the staff won't stay here
Yeah, I was just going
longer
to say.
than 10 seconds.
Yeah. And what's quite interesting as well, some of the staff that we've spoken to didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know it existed if
No.
you didn't know where it was.
That's it. There's no reason for people to come down here because there's no beer kegs or anything stored here. So, it is a secret little area for people to, find out about, like us.
Well, another interesting area for us to investigate tonight.
I'm looking forward to this one.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
The Sam Bamford room.
Yeah.
Now, this pub's got many rooms and it's split up into different things, so it's going to be fantastic for our lone
I
visuals.
think so.
This Sam Bamford, this guy was a poet and he's quite infamous in Middleton. In this room, people have heard taps and bangs. There's no explanation of why that activity's happened,
Yeah.
but it's happened.
Yeah.
And tonight, I think on our investigation, hopefully we should be capturing that, and if we can encourage that to happen, maybe that'll happen for us.
Yeah. And I think in here, we should try the Alice box.
The Alice box?
Yeah, because he was obviously a man of words.
Maybe he'll speak through the Alice box.
Exactly. So, it would be nice to actually try and personalise this individual, find out if it is him and see if he'll write us something of interest on the Alice box.
Be even more interesting if he wrote a poem.
It would.
You never know, Bob.
No, I'm
It
just wondering
could
how we
happen.
go about copywriting that.
Well, you know what? If it happens on Ghost Dimension, it stays on Ghost Dimension.
It's ours.
It's ours. So if the spirit does it, it is ours and we'll copyright it, but we'll play it for you at home.
Yeah.
No, honestly, jokes aside, if it does happen, it'd be interesting to see if that does happen.
Absolutely, yeah. It would be nice to find he's here. Although there haven't been a great deal of reports that it is him. There is, however, a photograph, which I showed you earlier on, which I'm sure we'll be able to show. And it shows an individual just outside the pub taken sometime in the 1870s.
And he looks like him.
It looks very much like him. But the trick is, he's quite transparent compared to everybody else. So, again, it would be nice to see the negative to that, and that's probably never going to happen, but it could possibly be him.
Well, you know what? It all leads to me for high expectations from this location with the activity that's reported from the people that work here to what could happen tonight. I think we should get started.
I think, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Paul. Come on. We can only but hope tonight, during our investigation of the Ye Olde Boar's Head, we experience its haunted hospitality. Before we start, I meet Jack, the marketing manager, to hear what he has experienced at this location. Jack.
Hello.
Welcome to Ghost Dimension Flying Solo.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us here. This building is fantastic, and I love how old this building is. It's 16th century, if not earlier, and that's one of the first recorded, drinks that's happened here. Now, you work here, you're a marketing manager for the pub. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal here?
There's been a few occasions where earlier this year I was in the kitchen and it was on a Monday or a Tuesday and there was nobody really about, and I was just stood there. It was pretty quiet, and a load of plates came just smashing off one of the shelves. There's been a few things that I've been heard by different customers and stuff, but one time I taunted a ghost with my little brother who used to work here, and we went upstairs into the office and we was like, come on ghost, show us. We'd had a few beers. Been a good night, and the day after, after taunting this ghost, we got held up in an armed robbery.
Seriously?
Yeah, so me and my brother. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But
Potentially, right, I'm going to get you back, and of course that's to happen.
So, you know, there's people see things all the time, and I can be on my own, and there's always something in the corner of your eye.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of reports I was hearing from the locals in the pub as I was looking around before, and one of them was in the female toilets. There's apparently a child, a female spirit of a girl in there. Are you aware of that?
I've heard rumours. I mean, there's obviously always a lot of interest with people who want to come and do different things in here and stuff like that. And there's been a few reports of a young child in the toilets there, in the toilet box.
Wow. Okay. And have you experienced anything else paranormal in this building?
I lived here for a short time. Leanne, who is the licensee, she let me stay here for 6 months or so, and you know, I had some real trippy nights.
Yeah.
You know, hot, sweaty, couldn't sleep, restless, and it was awful, horrible feeling I've never felt anywhere.
And it's only since you came here?
Yeah, well, when I lived here, when I was sleeping in the room upstairs, it was a restless and horrible sleep. You know, feeling like there was someone there, and you get it all the time. I'm here on my own at all sorts of hours, and you'll just look and take a second glance, and you'll be like, you know,
was that out the corner of my eye, or was it there?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait tonight to investigate this location and see if anything does happen. Maybe we'll hear something, maybe we'll see something out the corner of our eye, but also later potentially we'll do a seance together, and I'd like to, because you've had experiences in here, to invite you into that seance and see if anything happens when you're there, because maybe the spirit's energy, if they're making those feelings on you upstairs, hot and sweaty and whatnot, maybe they'll follow you and come and join us in the seance. Would you be up for doing a seance with us?
Of course.
Excellent. Well, and do you know what? I think it's about time we get started our investigation.
Okay, so I've come to the ladies' toilet. This is where one of the reports of activity has happened, and apparently it is the spirit of a little girl who has been seen in here quite regularly. So hopefully she'll be in here tonight. Inside the toilets, I'm going to leave the lights on, but I've got a K2 meter here. I've got 3 empty toilets. Now maybe we'll just get one of the spirits in here to interact, or maybe the girl will come forward and she'll speak to me. I don't know. I don't spend many investigations in a female toilet. However, this is a first for me, and hopefully me being a male inside a female's toilet may get them to come out. We don't know, but it could happen. That was one of these doors. That was one of these doors already. The lights are still on. It's, you know, I'm leaving them on purposely, but that was one of these doors. Are you here with me now? Can you move one of these doors behind me? Move a door. Close one of these toilet doors. See? Another noise. But I looked and I couldn't see any of them moving.
I am now in what is known as the dungeon at the Old Boars Head in Middleton, and the speculation is that once upon a time when court was being held here, this might have been used as a dungeon for prisoners. So we don't know for absolute certain that that's what it was used for, but I can't see why it couldn't be if that was the use somebody wanted to have of it. We have a REM just over there, and we have the periscope there, which will tell me if there's any static build-up in here, if anything decides to come and pay me a visit. So we're going to call out to see if I can find anybody to come and talk to me.
I've got a meter in my hand. It's called a K2 meter. If you come towards me this meter will light up, and it's got different coloured lights. So if you're a child, come towards this meter and I will do my best to communicate with you and interact with you and try and work out who you are and what's happening. So just come forward to this little light in my hand and touch it, or play with it, move it, make it flash. Are you here with me now? That sounded like it was outside. Well, I'll show you. There's nobody here. Completely empty. I mean, here's the men's. I know, surprisingly. I'll show you actually. It's a bit of smell, but there's nobody here. That was really, really weird. Okay, if that was you and you made that noise, come towards me and light this meter up, please. I'm here to communicate with you. My name's Sean and I'm a paranormal investigator. Can you use your voice and communicate with me? No. I swear I heard somebody. Come forward. Speak to me.
Nothing on the periscope. Anybody here? Somebody just make a sound? Did you breathe out? Did you grunt? Oh, just heard a thud above me. Oh, footsteps. Wow. I bet you can hear that, because I can. There's nobody else here right now that's above me.
Sometimes when you're investigating, it can take a while before the activity starts to build, and I think that's the case here. I think it's trying to build. The energy's mustering itself up, and it will happen. But I think right now it's building because it's... What's that? I heard something then. I don't know what it was, but I heard it. Was that you? Was you making a noise then? Come and speak to me, come and communicate with me. Come towards this meter I have in my hand and touch it. Copy this whistle.
I mean you no harm, no disrespect. And like I said before, I'm not here to judge you. Whatever you did in your life is of no consequence now. Is there anybody at all? I just step back then, because you know when you get something out the corner of your eye. I know I'm casting a shadow through this, but I just thought there was a shadow beside my shadow. So I don't know. You may be able to see my shadow, I don't know, but I can see it on the wall, and I just thought I saw another one. Could be my eyes playing tricks. Not entirely certain, so I'm not going to jump up and down and say it was. If there's somebody there, somebody behind me, can you go towards this red light on the floor? Touch that metal stick that's coming from it. It doesn't harm you. It's just going to let me know that you're there.
Use your voice. Communicate with me. I heard that. Was that you? That was faint. That was a faint tap. That was twice. Can you tap twice if you're a girl and once if you're a boy? Thank you. Are you the spirit girl that people have seen in here? One tap for yes, two taps for no. Are you the spirit girl people have seen in here? That's coming from the toilet, that is. You see if I can get a read. No. 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 No reading. Where are you? Give me a sign, where are you? I heard that then. I'm hearing the subtle bangs and taps and knocks, but I'm not finding where this girl is. Got an idea. Okay, there's me in the mirror. Come forward and communicate with me. Use my energy and come and speak to me. Appear behind me in this mirror. Show yourself in this mirror. Appear behind me. Are you able to communicate with your voice? You tapped before, but you haven't yet communicated with your voice. Use your voice. Speak to me.
I don't know if it's my eyes playing tricks on me, whether I'm seeing a double shadow off the reflection of the screen. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Okay, I knew I'd just seen a shadow. I knew over there was a shadow, and now both the REMs just went off. First the one that's near the wall, and then the one at the stairs. Something is or was down here with me then. Thank you for that. That's exactly what I asked you to do, to let me know. That is really good. What did I just see behind me then? I just thought through the viewfinder, through the screen, there was some shadow behind me again. If you're down here, that is really, really good. Just got the old goosebumps. That was really good. Thank you so much for that. And I know I'm going to be asking a lot, but could you do it again for me? Could you set them off again?
The activity was increasing, and with Paul receiving REM pod responses and with me experiencing intelligent knocks in the female toilets, we move on to investigate even more.
Okay, so I've come into the Sam Bamford room. I'll show you the room, okay? It's a room about where the poet was, and this room has seen many things over its time. I've got a REM pod here. I'll set the REM pod off, and I've got another REM pod over here, which I'll put over there. I've also got the Alice box, set magnet already, and I've got the ion detector, which will light up red for negative energy or green for positive energy, and it just lit up then, but I don't know if that was just a little test. Anything comes near the REM pods, they'll set off and make a noise. What I'll also do is I'll close this door, hopefully you can see it, and I'll lock myself into this room, and then if I hear anything, it should be locked into here.
This is the first floor of the Olde Boars head, and This is where it's out of bounds, I think, to the public. So I think it's used for, well, looking at it, storage. We've got a RAM just over by the window and a RAM just on the table there. Incredibly creaky floorboards. I've also got the ovilus with me, so I'm just going to see what happens in here. There's just over there is a perspex sheet that's covering some original signatures from people dating back to the late 1600s, early 1700s. People have just signed the name and put the date on. So even back then, graffiti seems to have been in.
Okay, if there's any spirits in this room, can you come forward and communicate with me? Make a sound, a noise, give me an indication of your presence. But I've got a lot of equipment in here, and you can come and light one of these meters. You can puddle the, I didn't mean to say puddle, but the Alice box said puddle. I've got this device here, and if you walk towards me, it'll light up and change colour. All you got to do is come towards me, use my auric energy, my atmospherical energy, and change it around my body, change my temperature, come towards me and communicate with me. Let me know you are here. Are you outside? If I open this door, I'll go outside into the bar area. Are you here? Tense. It said tense. Look. Oh, just probably caught the end of that. Rocks. It's rocks. Okay, God knows what that means. But it said that. I think I've just zoomed in a bit too close, but this flashed. I'm going to take you into the bar area. Let me show you the bar. So we've got all of the drinks and stuff like that. We've got this area down here where they serve all the food. And we've got a tap 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 over there, which is weird. I'll investigate that in a sec. Ooh, okay, you can see that flashing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I think we're onto somebody here. Flashing green and red. Now let me just, this machine's off. Oh, thank you. Are you here? Can you come towards me again and light this up? Light my meter. Shall I walk? Am I getting close to you? This is flashing. Oh, thank you, thank you. This is flashing, indicating that something's nearby. And as you can see, I'm walking back and forward into the same area, and now it's stopped, which means the baseline is not constant. Flashed again.
All I want to do is try and find out who's here. Find out if you lived here, drank here, fought here. What the hell was that? That sounded like a, if you put buttons in a jar and shake the jar, it sounded like that. Odd sound. I can't say I've heard that one before. Were you tried here when there was a court? Were you found guilty? Were you taken from this place and hung by the neck until you were dead? Please talk to me. Let me know you're here if you can. Oh God, these floorboards are creaky. I don't think even a ninja could sneak around in here.
Give me a sound as well. Follow me around and let's walk towards the cells to the courtroom. Oh, okay. Thank you. You know what I'm talking about. Was you tried here? Oh, it stayed lit. Were you tried here? I just need to go back to the Alice box. This is amazing. Sound. It said sound, and this is still going mad. Were you tried here? Were you hung? Was your life committed to death here? Light this right up if you can and stay lit. Thank you for doing what you're doing so far. Jesus. I've sure heard a bang then. And then as the bang happened, look! Look at that! Red, green, green, red. In that sequence. Can you do that again for me now? Light it back up in that sequence again. Please, that was fantastic what you did. Do you know when you can hear a noise and you think to yourself, is anything there? Look, there's the Sam Bamford room. I'm going to go back in. I'm sure I heard the Alice box going off.
Property. I've just gone rather dizzy. Oh, that was weird. Just the whole. Everything's just span. That was weird. The only way I can describe it, you know, when you at school glance. I was going to say, you know, when you were at school and people used to spin you round and round and round on the spot, and then you had to try and walk a straight line. Well, that was the kind of sensation I just got then. Amuse. Okay. Did you find that funny? Did you just do something then? Ooh. I feel really out of it. D. That's the initial D. What are you trying to tell me?
This is going off again. Shape. It said shape. The Alice box said shape. And this is going mad. Every time I walk to the courtroom, this is going mental. Oh, tap, tap, tap. And look, it's lit right up. Tap, tap, tap from the bar. And now it's just gone red. This was at the bar. Tap, tap, tap. Are you here? Make this flash again if you're here. Oh, thank you. Tap again. Thank you. No way. It's flashing. Right there. Right now. And it's happening. On Ghost Dimension Flying Solo. Activity is mental. If that was you, behind the bar, come towards me and flash this device. Oh, I heard that. Let's go and find that. That was behind there. That was at the bar. Look, as I'm moving, it's going mad. What the hell? Tap, 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 tap. No way. Tap, 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 tap. Light up both, and then green and red again, followed by tap, tap. Can you do that again? Light it up. Never have I ever seen so much activity on this meter. Just feel really drained. It's taking me all my time not to just go forward and collapse. Just don't feel right.
The spirits appeared to have affected Paul, so when he came round, he took a break and he was okay. What else will happen tonight? Paul, what an amazing night so far. I can't believe the level of activity that we've had here. It's been quite varied with knocks and bangs and whatnot, but so far, so good. How are you feeling about it?
It's good. I mean, you know, we never know what's going to happen. We can't guarantee anything, but we do so well capturing some of the stuff that's been reported. And so far, so good.
So far, so good. For me, this building, with it being so old, with so much history behind it, and especially again, this room being a courtroom, there's bound to be something that still lurks here, either residual or maybe active, and that's what could be causing the paranormal activity that people experience here. And do you know what? I can't wait to investigate even more.
I'm with you completely on that, so shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay, so I've come into the courtroom, what was used as a courtroom. I'm just going to shut this door fully and I'll show you. It's pretty hard to see on the night vision. What I'll do first of all, I'll just light it up so you can actually see what I'm seeing in here, which is a beautiful, beautiful. I'll tell you what, I'm going to keep that on a bit actually, so you can see what's happening here. Here we go. So it's a beautiful, beautiful room with an old fireplace, and this is where people were tried, they were sentenced here and potentially sent over to the church and hung in the gallows. So, you know, there should be a lot of spirit presences still around, hopefully haunting this part. And as I'm explaining that, there's rattling going on, and it seems to come from the wall over here. What I have got in this room, I'll show you what I've got. I've got the REM pod over there, I've got a REM pod on the table here, and I've also got that was over there by the door. I've got the ovulus. So I'm going to ask the spirits if that was them that was making that noise just then, because I definitely heard something happen then.
Okay, so we're in the dungeon, and again I've got Jack and Leanne just over there, and I had some good stuff down here before with that shadow and the REM, so we're just going to see if anything wants to come and say hello now. Is the person that was here before with me here now? Can you make a noise? Can you set one of the devices off on the floor like you did before?
I want to know if this used to be a prison.
Can you answer that question for us? Was this used as a dungeon?
Are you here with me now? Can you make a noise? A tap? A bang? I can hear footsteps. Listen. Can you do that again if that was you? Walk on the floor. I swear I heard footsteps. The bar's empty and I can still hear noises. Can you come towards this machine I have over here? It's called an Ovilus. If you come towards it, you should be able to manipulate it and communicate with it. Thank you. Between. So I asked the Ovilus to come and communicate, and it said between. I don't know if maybe that was a spirit coming near me, and it said something else. Initial. Are you going to give me your initial? Are you going to communicate with me and tell me who you are and give me your initials? Can you make another noise in this room? I know you were making noises before, but please make another noise and give me an indication of your presence here with me now.
Tell us what it is that's you're feeling now.
Same as upstairs, like grabbing of the hairs, but on my left arm this time. It's my right arm upstairs.
Is it Leanne that you're interested in? Why are you drawn to her? It's gone really cold behind me.
Thing. The Ovilus said thing. I don't know if it's trying to say to me, what is this thing you've got here, or what? Or if it's just randomly spitting these words out. But you know what? I asked for it to manipulate the Ovilus, and it sure is doing that right now. Oh, no way. Rem! The Rem, and I grabbed the Ovilus. It said foliage, but the Rem's gone off. Thank you. No way. Thank you for giving me your indication you're here. Let's put that down. So, I'm just going to zoom out. The Ovilus went foliage. Why? Who knows? But the REM pod, the REM went off. On camera, you can see it. I'm here, and the Ovilus goes off. There's only one reason for that Ovilus to go off right over there, and that is a spiritual indication. There's no electric over there, there's no interference over there. That has to be a spirit manifestation next to the Ovilus. Not the Ovilus, the REM pod. So there has to be a spiritual manifestation, and that was an orb. There was an orb. There's so much happening right now. I saw a light, an orb, and the Ovilus has just said descend again, so something went near that REM pod. It's still kicking off right now.
What a fantastic night here. I can't believe the level of activity that's here. It comes in like bursts. It goes, I'm quiet, then it bursts at you. It bursts, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And we've done lone vigils all over the place and experienced different things. You've had the licensee, the landlady, and the marketing guy downstairs, Jack, and Leanne, experiencing things as well.
Yeah, Leanne was getting the hairs on her arms being pulled. Started up in the Dick Turpin's room on her right arm, and then when we got into the cellar, it was on her left arm.
So that was on both arms.
Yeah. So I think she's got a fan.
And we've had REM pod activity, we've had Alice box activity. Yeah,
the Ovilus has been chatting away as well.
The Ovilus has been chatting away. Yeah. And some of the responses on the Alice box have actually matched what's happened.
Yeah, I think that's a really underrated piece of kit. Because it doesn't just give you one word, it will give you sentences. And I find sometimes it's more accurate than the Ovilus, more relevant to where we're doing. So I'm glad the Alice box has proved its worth tonight.
Well, I took the ion detector around the building, and when I took it around, you know what it's like, Paul, it doesn't always go off.
It
and
shouldn't.
Especially go into red.
Well, yeah, it shouldn't, So, I mean, it's you want it to hit that pocket of static. And it's negative or positive, so if it's gone into the red.
It was following me around, and it was good for me to experience that on demand as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, if something's, felt attracted to you for whatever reason, then that's what, it's going to be registered, and obviously you've had a fan as well tonight.
Well, what an amazing night this has been.
It has,
One of the best investigations we've done so far, and the level of activity has been amazing. So far, fantastic. So, from Ghost Dimension Flying Solo, thank you for watching and good night.